This video is going to show you how to modify your Connect 365 exhibitor page. The first time you come to your page, you should have something that looks very similar to this, but do notice that I have already put in sample logo, some sample brands, as well as some sample products. So to get started, let's look at how and where we would modify our logo as well as our description and enter in some contact information and some information around the scheduled virtual meeting button. So the first thing we're going to want to do is to click on Edit Details in the upper right-hand corner. And that's going to bring us to a page that's going to default to where we're going to be able to put in our corporate or exhibitor logo. If you would do that here, you can see that I've already uploaded a sample, but this is where you would do it using these different parameters. To change your company description, the text that follows just below the logo is going to be found here. You would simply put the text into this box and hit save. And then moving on to contacts, a lot of different fields on this page. And I do want to point out your address, your phone, and your facsimile are not modifiable on this page. This data is tied to your corporate account with IHA. And so if you do need to change it, it's going to be very important that you contact your show representative. But the rest of the information is modifiable, your URL, your social media links, as well as all of the different contact information. It's very important for you to have as much data completed in these fields as possible. I wanted to point out the calendar sync URL. If you're using an application such as Calendly or Schedule Once to allow buyers to connect easily to your calendar to request appointments, you would want to put in your specific calendar sync URL into this field. So I'm going to close now. We're going to go back to our main landing page. And again, this is the scheduled virtual meeting. This is the button where your buyers are going to be able to access your specific calendar that you have set up through third-party apps such as Calendly or Schedule Once. The Visit Online Store button is additional functionality that is being added for IHA members who are also participating in the Connect Commerce platform. This allows e-commerce capabilities. The section below the company description are called badges. This information is added at the brand and at the product level, and we'll talk about that more in just a few moments. So moving on to brands and how you would manage them, you can see that I have 3 brands that have already been set up. And if we want to modify a brand or we want to add a new brand, we're going to click on the Manage Brands and Products button. It's going to bring us to another page. And you can see I have my 3 brands. And if I wanted to change my logo, I would click on the Digital Asset button. If I wanted to change my contact information specific to this brand, I'm going to click on Contact Information. If I wanted to change this brand's name and description, I'm going to click on Name and Description. But to add a brand, we're going to click on Add Brand. And the first thing that it's going to ask me to do is to put in my brand name. And I'm just going to call my brand Bike Shirts, and I'm going to say that we're export friendly and independent retailer friendly. The badges that I showed you that fell just below the company description are controlled here. This gives buyers the functionality of finding companies that are export friendly, made in the USA, independent retailer friendly, and so forth. So it's important that you select what's appropriate to your company. Then my description, I'm going to say bike shirts for bike riders as my sample data, and I'm going to hit Save Changes. It's then going to bring me to my contact information where I'm going to be able to enter in social accounts and representatives, as well as a brand URL. If you have already entered all of your information into the exhibitor section that we talked about earlier in this video, and there is no new information that needs to be added, you can leave this blank. But if you have a company that has different brand managers and different personnel for this particular brand, you would want to put it in here, as it will showcase the appropriate personnel for this particular brand. We're going to close this, but we're not finished yet. We also have to make sure that we get our logo, and so we're going to put in click on our digital assets button. We're going to click on add logo, and I'm just going to choose my logo for my new brand bike shirts. I'm going to click on start upload. And it's going to show me a thumbnail. Now, if I want to add catalogs, videos, or I have recent news that are specifically tied to this brand, I would do so using these different buttons. So I'm going to close, and you can see that my brand has now been added, but let's take a look at what that looks like on the home page. So I'm going to click on my company logo or on the home button in the breadcrumbs. And it's going to take us back to where we started. And you will notice this new bike shirts brand has been added. So let's go back into brands and products, and let's add a product into my bike shirts brand. So bike shirts, you'll notice there are no products. So I'm just going to click on edit products and then add a product. First thing I do is I put in my product name. We're just going to call it green shirt. Enter in any badges that might apply, my description, and then any product specifications that I might have. And I'm going to click on Save Changes. The next thing that I want to do is add an image that's associated with my new product. So I'm going to say Add Files. I'm going to click on the appropriate image. I'm going to put in a title, and I'm going to start my upload. Once that uploads, you can see that the image has been added in thumbnail form. And close out of here. You'll notice that I have my product name is Green Shirt. It's within my bike shirts brand, but no category has yet been selected. And that's very important because it's going to help with the search functionality that the buyers will have. So we're going to click on product tags. And it's going to come up with a number of different categories for you. Shirts are not part of home and housewares, so we're just going to use hardware as an example. And then the keyword for hardware will fall here, and we're just going to select the first one for purposes of this example, and we're going to hit Save Changes. We can close, and now we can see that the category has been added. And let's go back to our landing page, our home page, and let's take a look at how that looks. Again, we can see our new brand has been added. These are products that I've added before, but now you can see that the green shirt product has been added and is being featured. We would add recent news and featured videos. We simply click on the Edit button. This is going to bring us two different tabs, Exhibitor News and Exhibitor Videos at the top. So my link to my news story, I just simply need to put in a URL. I already have one ready from the inspiredhome.com that I found. So I'm going to copy that URL and I'm going to come back and I'm going to paste it into this field and say Add New Article. It is now added at the bottom. So I'm going to close. And we're going to come back to the landing page, and we're going to notice that that article has automatically appeared on the landing page. Featured videos is very similar. We'll click on featured videos. We'll click on edit. And now we have to click on the exhibitor video tab. And we're going to find an appropriate YouTube video and put in our video title. So I have one ready, a video that I like that applies to my company. I'm going to copy the URL. I'm going to paste the URL link, and I'm going to give this a title. And so I'm going to call it pan-seared salmon. I'm going to say add video. You can see it appears at the bottom. I'll hit close. And we're going to come back to our landing page. I'm going to click on featured videos, and you can see my pan-seared salmon video now appears on my page. One final button that I wanted to point out is at the top of the screen, next to edit details, is the preview mode. If you were to click on the preview mode, it's going to change the view so that you see it as an end user would see it. It takes away some of the different buttons we were using to access the back parts of the site. It's just a way for you to check your work and your progress to make sure that everything is organized and has been uploaded properly. I hope that this demonstration has been very helpful. If you have any questions or you need any assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out to IHA directly. We would be very glad to help you.